What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video from beautiful sunny Playa del Carmen. Rope Monster coming at you here. Now, Playa del Carmen 2026, is it still worth moving here? To properly, thoroughly answer that question, we've got a lot to unpack today, including finance, cost of living, price increases, rents, beach conditions, and so many other X factors. And then at the end of the video, we'll also discuss where a lot of people, digital nomads and expats, are moving instead. So guys, let's dig in. Playa del Carmen 2026. Should you move here? Vámonos. So first and foremost, guys, one of the biggest differences between 2025 and 2026, this time last year, the exchange rate was 20 to 1 on the US dollar. Now it's 17 to 1. That's actually an 18% reduction in your purchasing power if you're earning dollars and spending them here in Mexico, in Playa del Carmen. Now, that's not all though. Unfortunately, inflation has been running pretty hot here. So we're talking like 9%, but some places have raised their prices as much as 30%. So when you combine that with the 18% reduction, all of a sudden your purchasing power has been diminished. So that's the very first thing I want to discuss, is that if you have something you can scale up or scale down, like say a YouTube channel or some type of side hustle, that's fine. But if you're on a fixed income and all of a sudden you take an 18% hit just on the exchange rate, and then also your favorite restaurants, and we'll cover some specific price raises here momentarily, some of your favorite restaurants raise their prices by 25 or 30%, all of a sudden you can't go get your favorite burrito anymore and you're making quesadillas at home. So I wanted to make that point very, very clear. Is it still worth it for you when your purchasing power is down 18%? That's for you to determine. Now, there's something to be said for having a pivot or a backup plan, and maybe a month-to-month rental is good for you, because if the exchange rate drops off a cliff, maybe you can go to Colombia, maybe you can go to Ecuador and just pivot and stay flexible. That's a workaround, and that's something that I've done in the past when I didn't have this channel and was just living on investments. But a lot of people would be hard pressed to get 18 to 30% annualized returns on their investments. And so when the exchange rate dips and you lose 18%, hey, what's up, guys? You guys want to say hi real quick? Hey, where are you guys from? Hey, New Orleans in the house.
You take a video with.
I remember you, yeah, up by Quinta Parilla, yeah. Hey, good to meet you guys. Give me daps. Hey. Boom. Hi, bye. All right, guys, good to see you. So goodbye. Oh, he says bye, Rope Monster. See you, buddy. Oh, that was sweet. So guys, heartwarming. And I'm gonna keep this video very organic and unedited. This is just what happens when I walk down Fifth Avenue. We get to meet subscribers. Every day is a subscriber meetup. But so you have to ask yourself that question. 18% reduction in purchasing power just on the exchange rate. Can your investments and or side hustle as a digital nomad or worker keep up with that? That's for you to determine, but I wanted to bring that to your attention. It is at the forefront of whether or not it's worth living here or moving here in 2026. The peso's getting strong, the dollar's getting a little bit weak. Food for thought. Let me know in the comments what you think about that and what your workaround would be, side hustle or whatever that may be. Guys, let's move on. So I want to give you guys some POV action here and talk about restaurants and price increases, some of which are very tragic actually to me. So one of my very favorite restaurants, and you know I'm not calling anyone out here, I got to keep it real, and these restaurants are doing what they have to do to survive, I get that. But one of my favorite restaurants, Sabor de los Ortega, a lot of their prices went up 20 and even 30% in one jump. And so, you know, there are places that haven't raised their prices much or have only raised them 5%. But we're gonna actually go over to the grocery store over here to Chedraui, and I'm gonna show you guys prices so you can see with your own eyes what we're looking like for a bag of coffee, a liter of milk, some of the basics. Now I did this a year ago, almost exactly 1 year ago. I did this kind of style video. So we need to go see what's changed as far as the prices, and I'll also show how I shop, guys, what I look for and what I buy to stay healthy, fit, get my macros, but without breaking the bank. But guys, the price increases. A lot of these bars now are charging 70, even up to 90 pesos per beer. My advice to you is to patronize the places that haven't raised their prices a ton. One shout out would be El Arabe. You can still get a 100 peso burrito at El Arabe on CTM over there with Ruben and Fernando. I was having that discussion with him, like, hey man, you know, if the dollar is 18% weaker and then people raise their prices 20%, how can anyone afford your food? And he says, yeah, exactly, we've kept our prices the same. So guys, we'll also discuss rents here in a moment, but I want to pop into Chedraui Selecto, one of the most popular supermarkets here in Playa del Carmen, and actually check in on prices here momentarily. All right, so we've made it inside the ever popular Chedraui Selecto. Very expensive grocery store in general, but you're paying for the location. I just wanted to give you a quick example. Some of my favorite cheeses, like you want like a brie or something like that, 203 pesos. Well, do the math, guys. With the current exchange rate, that's like a $12 piece of cheese right there. You look at like the Parmigiano or the Grana Padano. Once again, 188 pesos, 149 pesos. You're seeing some pretty expensive cheese with the current exchange rate. And that's a little bit disturbing, guys. I noticed I don't eat a lot of bread, but I came in here and bought one of these breads the other day, and I didn't even look at the price, and it had gone up. Some of these are up to, you know, 70 pesos, almost $4 for a piece of bread, and a lot of those used to be like 38 to 45. Some are still 45. All right, let's check milk and keep going with the basics. So a liter of milk. Well, let's cover butter, because everyone likes butter, right? Look at this, 120 pesos or 133 for the Kerrygold. Once again, with the current exchange rate, that's like $8 for a thing of butter. That's more expensive than the US. So keep that in mind. And then you got like milk here, 45 pesos for a liter. So if you're a family who goes through, say, maybe a gallon of milk a day or a half gallon of milk a day, that adds up as well. Another thing that we're not going to physically show in this video, but gasoline prices are up to like 26 pesos a liter. And so with the exchange rate, you're at like $6 a gallon for gas. So pretty disturbing times as far as the overall price increases. Let's look at another staple real quick. Let's look at coffee. Should be right down here. Yep. As I'm drinking my coffee here. So guys, coffee. Now this is another thing right here that's gotten out of control. Is you know, a little 500 gram 17 ounce bag of coffee is 186 pesos. And you know, you got one right here, 720 grams, 400 pesos. It's absolutely absurd. One thing that hasn't really gone up much is the mate, and I do a lot of mate, so that is an alternative, but I know for a lot of you, coffee is non-negotiable. So that gives you an idea right there. When you couple the exchange rate weakening, peso getting stronger to the dollar, and then some of these price increases, it would really be a struggle for some folks, and that's why I wanted to do this video kind of impromptu here on a Sunday. Now, I don't eat cereal or anything like that, but you know, a thing of like Kellogg's Corn Pops, 94 pesos. Now, guys, I will say you can go to the municipal market up in Colosio if you're willing to take a little trip. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
how you doing? Want to give a shout out to anyone?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Hi everyone. Just it's the Davis Family Firm. Love checking out this guy's YouTube. So just
Awesome.
keep watching and make the move to Mexico.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about today. Where are you guys from?
We're from North Carolina.
North Carolina
Been in
the
Playa
house.
since July.
Okay.
Got our temporary residency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you.
What have you noticed about any changes from last year to this year? Like
A lot of
anything?
construction.
Lot of construction.
Lot of construction.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Awesome. Good to see you.
Nice to meet
Bring
you.
it in. Bring it in. All right. Let me get a hug from the little one. Whoop. All right. All right.
Bella and Nikki.
Hey.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. Good vibes there. That's a good point. Let's talk about construction next, guys, and rents and what exactly is happening there. Boop. So one last note there, I was just speaking with the lovely family from North Carolina off camera for a moment, and they said they could do without the construction noise and some of the price increases. And I asked them, where would you go if you were to leave Playa? And they said, maybe Merida or maybe even Panama. So we'll discuss more about the alternatives where people are kind of going, but at the end of the video. Let's talk about construction here and how that's affecting rents. So guys, we're gonna talk about construction and rents as promised, but I'm just here on 5th Ave. I wanted to show this right here. So an Aperol Spritz, 300 pesos. So like 18, 19 US dollars for an Aperol Spritz. That's crazy, crazy. So I don't know if a lot of these people have gotten the memo that the exchange rate is weak, because a lot of the business owners are wondering, hey, where is everyone? And I'm like, well, they're not going to come if you don't have reasonable deals or promotions, because the exchange rate for the Canadian and the US dollar is so much weaker. But guys, moving right along, everywhere you look, now today is Sunday, but if I was filming this at this time of day on, say, a Monday or a Tuesday, all you would hear is banging, jackhammering, construction noise. And so there's a lot of building, a lot of new buildings going up everywhere you look, especially if you get up high on a rooftop, like at, say, the Reef 28, where we might go momentarily, just to give you guys a panoramic view. You'll see new buildings everywhere you look. And how is that affecting rents? Well, the good news here is actually rents are stabilizing. Now you'll still get people trying to absolutely gouge you, but just say no to that. I've got a video that I did recently on rents here, but now to determine if it's really worth moving here in 2026, we have to talk about rents. And a lot of the buildings that are already in existence are sitting at 40-50% occupancy or even less, especially farther away from the highway. Leave in the comments below, guys, if you know of any buildings with space available, if your building has rooms or apartments available, because it seems to be a common theme, yet all these new buildings are still going up. So I think Playa is being overbuilt, and the supply is growing and the demand is weakening a little bit, because I think less people are going to be coming here in the coming years, also due to macroeconomic conditions globally and especially in the US with job losses. A lot of folks have lost their jobs over the last month or two alone in the US, my brother being one of them. He's got some cool videos over on his channel, Matt Cole, if you want to check him out. But guys, if you look around, you'll sense kind of a quietness in some of these main areas. I actually looked at an apartment in this building right here, and it was only $18,000 for a 2-bedroom just a little over a year ago at the end of 2024. I think it was December I looked at that one. And I'm noticing that a few in that building they've tried to get 24, 26, 28, and then they sit empty. So still, you can basically get these for $18,000. You just have to be firm. But guys, now we've kind of covered rents a little bit, and the rents are kind of stabilizing or even coming down. But what about beach conditions? I mean, that's a big reason people live here. What about sargassum, seaweed? What's the current situation, you may wonder? Because it's February. Right now, the seaweed situation should be good. The beaches should be clean. So let's go down here to Playa Mamitas and see if that is the case. Ladies and gentlemen, Playa Mamitas. Now in the past, the sargassum issue was almost non-existent. We're talking 10, 15, 20 years ago, and then it became kind of a 3 to 6 month thing. There was a clear-cut sargassum season. But what are things like now in 2026? Because if you're gonna pay a premium, you know, say $3,000 a month cost of living to live here, or $2,500 depending on the apartment you want, are you at least getting good primo beaches? And I was out on Playa 88 yesterday actually with a friend, and there was piles of sargassum. So Mamitas actually doesn't look bad, but you can see that there is a decent amount, a little bit of sargassum washing in, and it's February. And so let's head to the north. Let's keep going to the north, check out the beaches and see how things are looking right now and if it's worth living here. The water, I'll say, feels so good on the feet right now. Absolutely fantastic. I think after filming this, I'll come back here and just do a chapuzon and get in the water. You can see, you know, there's still some sargassum washing in. And there are places in the world where people are moving. We'll cover that at the end of the video. People are choosing places other than Playa where there is no sargassum issue at all. And so it does beg the question, which place is right for you? Is Playa still the spot in 2026? So you can see as we get to the north, there's actually more and more sargassum on the beach and more washing in. Trying to be as respectful with the camera as possible, guys, so that I'm not getting too many people on camera, but it's pretty hard on a Sunday. The beach is definitely packed. Now up ahead toward Martina Beach Club, which I think we'll go up to Martina, and we're gonna check on some beach club prices. But I can also see what looks like quite a bit of sargassum up there. But I want to see if Martina Beach Club and some of these beach clubs have the same prices as they did in 2025, or if they've also increased. So we're coming up on Mahekal right now. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
Whoa, watch the step.
Yeah, it's a big, mind the step for sure. Is Renee around?
I don't know, I haven't seen him.
Oh, okay. He's probably at volleyball, right? Potentially. Sunday. It's possible. I'm gonna be over there later, so maybe come by. All right, I'll see you over there. Ciao. Yeah. That is one thing that keeps me here is community. It's just everywhere I go, seeing familiar faces and friends. And that's one of the strong suits for Playa. But I can see actually some pretty big patches of sargassum washing in up here by Mahekal. So we'll have to go take a peek at Martina. See if I can even walk through. I think Playa 38 still looks a little rough, so I'll see you guys over on Playa 38 momentarily to continue this discussion. Is it worth moving to Playa del Carmen 2026? All right, guys, so I'm here with
Mark and Destiny.
Mark and Destiny. You want to give a shout out to anyone back home?
To Lucas and Ethan. We miss you, love you.
Love you guys.
What's up, Lucas and Ethan?
Yes.
Boop. So guys, this is why we talk to subscribers. Apart from just the joy of kind of the community and stuff is the feedback. And they were saying just now that the sargassum is worse this year than it was last year. And for sure, you can see, hopefully you can see that in the shot. There's some pretty big patches washing in. And then I think up here, Playa 38 looks like it's still basically completely eroded. And a lot of people pay top dollar to live on 38th or near there, myself included. And to not have a beach there is kind of a bummer, you know? So let's go see, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about up here. As we get north and see more and more sargassum and less beach, you can see this big cliff, this kind of erosion going on right here. And then there, I think you can see better the sargassum washing in. And as a guy who likes to swim every single day, I don't love to see this amount of sargassum washing in right here. And some people are actually allergic to the sargassum, so it's not just a nuisance, but it can actually be kind of a health issue for some folks. So as we get to the north here, it's kind of hard to believe that this is actually high season, mid-February 2026. And this erosion's not exactly abnormal to have the winter high water line. Does generally come up pretty high, but this is a little bit next level here. See if I can get through here. Hola hermano, ¿qué tal? Permiso. So this is all that there is of Playa 38 right now. It's pretty much gone. You can see the sargassum cleanup crew there. And so we'll head north to Mahikal and Martina Beach Club and check in on prices. Permiso, chicos. Those kids were having a sand fight. I wasn't trying to get caught in the middle of that. So, as always, guys, I'll let you be the judge. Is this beach worth it? Is it worth moving here? If these are the beach conditions during high season, you guys can determine that for yourself. You can see here getting up toward Mahikal, the amount of sargassum is actually kind of astounding. And you can see the water's actually brown right there. And these are all things that you have to factor in and weigh together, because at one time, not too long ago, Playa del Carmen was quite a bit more affordable than, say, Canada or the US. And now you have to ask, when an Aperol Spritz or a cocktail is almost $20, and a bag of coffee, small bag of coffee is $10 US. And then the beach looks like this during high season. Where's the saving grace going to come from? Now the rents coming down could significantly help the situation. If the rents drop substantially, or if real estate prices drop substantially. But this is really an astounding amount of sargassum for high season. So guys, I'm gonna see if I can get through there to Martina Beach Club, but oh yeah, I can get through to Martina just fine, but Cocoa Beach would be a struggle. So anyway, you get the idea with the sargassum. Is it worth moving here in 2026 with these conditions? You be the judge. Let's go check on some beach club prices real quick, and so we can weigh that in the overall equation. All right, guys, I'm walking into Encanto Beach Club right now to check on some prices, see how much a camastro would cost. Hola hermano, ¿qué precio tiene camastro? ¿Está de consumismo?
Camastro en la tercera línea en 500.
500.
Las primeras dos líneas en 800.
800. ¿Y incluye consumismo?
Es el mismo, es crédito.
Es crédito. Okay, gracias canal. So guys, there you have it. 500 or 800 pesos depending on which row, how close to the water you want to be. But you can consume that in food and drink here at Encanto Beach Club. Let's go check on Martina next. Hey,
famous, man.
Hey, what's up, brother?
How are you?
Good, man. Just doing a little video here.
I know, I watch it all the
Cost
time.
of living. You want to give a shout out to anyone?
No, they're all here.
There you go. So guys, another little impromptu subscriber meetup there, and now moving right along, you can really see these massive patches. And they said, I was telling them the concept of today's video, and they were like, yeah, it's still worth moving here. And I'm like, yeah, if you can afford it, if you can afford the 18% hit on your purchasing power just from the exchange rate and the inflation, then yeah, it's worth it. But this is Martina Beach Club right now, and this is crazy. Like, this should be a pristine beach going out about 10 to 15 meters, and instead we have essentially no beach at all here. And that's kind of disturbing. I'm gonna run in there and see if I can check on current prices, see if they've gone up. But Encanto had some deals recently, and their deals are gone. you're looking at 500 to 800 pesos to get into the beach club on a beach that is completely covered in sargassum. No one's even in the water here, guys. I mean, there's a few people over there in that one little patch, but this is definitely not what we wanted to see today, but I always have to keep it real here on the channel. If you appreciate my efforts, as always, just smash the like button for me, subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I ask in return. Let's head inside Martina. All right, guys, so good news here, at least at Martina Beach Club. They have kept these same prices for the camastros de consumo. It's like 500, pretty much 500 pesos to get in. The only unfortunate thing is the... Nos vemos, chicos. Hey, hola, ¿cómo has estado? So the only unfortunate thing is that, you know, of that 500 pesos of consumo, it's you know, you can burn through that with one cocktail and one beer. So Playa is no longer cheap. That's been well established, but is it worth moving here? That's really up to you guys. Now let's discuss where people are going instead, because Playa's gotten expensive. The sargassum situation's getting out of hand. And I've done videos. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey. So guys, I just ran into some friends there. My good buddy Steven, he's actually got a car rental business, Cars to Go. A lot of you have asked about rental cars, so I'll leave the info in the description to his car rental business, because he is the only guy I trust when I need a rental car. But guys, let's talk briefly about where people are going instead of Playa del Carmen. If you can't afford Playa, there's places within Mexico people are going, like Puerto Escondido over in Oaxaca. Some of the pros over there, you have surfing. Some of the cons, the Wi-Fi and infrastructure is quite a bit weaker. It's not quite as walkable, but still a fantastic option. I was over there in September of 24, and it's a beautiful place. Now, outside of Mexico, if you're not completely dependent on being on a time zone, the same time zone as the US or Canada, a lot of my friends and fellow YouTubers and people are going to Cambodia, Philippines, and Thailand especially. So a lot of you know William Taudian. He's been over in Thailand. He's now in, I think, Palawan in the Philippines. And he reached out to me the other day and he's like, let's do a trip, let's hang out over here. And he's saying, man, it's like a third the price of Playa. He even commented on my recent rental video. I did a video I'll put up at the end of the video right here about rents and what you should be paying per neighborhood. But William actually commented in the comments section on that video and said that rents in Playa are even more expensive than in Sweden. So with all that being said, I can see why he's like, the quality of life is better in Thailand. You get more for your money. Philippines and Thailand. Also, Vietnam is a huge hotspot. Let me know, just type in the comments, guys, Vietnam or Thailand, if you want me to go do content over there. I'd be happy to fly, take the 16 hour flight over there and spend maybe a few weeks or a month kind of seeing with my own boots on the ground what the cost of living and the quality of life is like over there. Because let's face it, guys, you want to go out for cocktails and dinner here in Playa del Carmen, unless you know where to go and you're willing to go to some of the more budget spots, it's going to cost you 30, 40, 50 US dollars. And the rents as well, with the current exchange rate, I'm paying 18,000 pesos, which means now that's over 1,000 US dollars a month for a fairly small one bedroom. Now the location's great, but that's still over $1,000 a month to live in Mexico just for the rent. So it really does beg the question, guys, 2026, is it still worth moving to Playa? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for stopping in for the video. And for all of you wondering, yes, I still love Playa. This is still home, but things have changed just over the last year, and I feel like it's kind of my duty to bring you those changes, keep you all informed. Just let me know in the comments what you think about this video, and would you move here in 2026? All right, guys, see you in the next one. Rope Monster, out.